Hi, I'm Kevin Kruse, and these are the top 5 stories on the future of work brought to you from LeadX. Story number 5 this week, it comes from Harvard Business Review in an article called How to Build a Super Team That Keeps Getting Better. Dr. Ron Friedman surveyed 6,000 knowledge workers and identified 7 keys to create a super team. What are the behaviors of leaders that create a super team? And these are the 3 big ones. First, super teams experiment more often. They place micro bets to drive innovation, what I call create the future. Their leaders work alongside their teams. Now, this is not about micromanaging. Most people are not at risk of being micromanaged. They're at risk of being neglected. Their managers aren't working closely enough with them. Leaders excel at giving feedback. This affirms what we've known in terms of decades of employee engagement research. Giving constructive feedback and giving recognition, positive feedback, are major predictors of employee engagement. I love my friend Kim Scott's model for radical candor. You need to care deeply, but also challenge directly. Story number 4 on the future of work this week comes in the form of a letter to shareholders from Chubb. Now, this annual letter is highly anticipated and it's read carefully because it's written by their CEO, Evan Greenberg. Greenberg's very respected among the Fortune 500 C-suite community. Everyone wants to know what's on his mind. And this year, he said the quiet part out loud. He acknowledges in some businesses, tech and AI will replace what humans do entirely. In others, it supports and makes them more productive. And then here it is. People who embrace progress and are willing to adapt have a career at Chubb. At the same time, we plan to reduce our global employee population significantly. So despite record sales, despite record profits, these aren't layoffs for financial reasons, saying, hey, our plan is to cut the workforce significantly. This is what all the CEOs are talking about. Whether they're realizing the AI gains now or just believing that they will come, all of us have about 1,000 days to figure this out. How do we lead? How do we work? How do we provide value in the new AI agentic era? It is both about, yes, developing our AI skills, but also thriving with our EI skills, our emotional intelligence. Story number 3 comes in the form of this pre-publication abstract from scientists at Northwestern University. So they have shown that you can actually use AI to improve your emotional intelligence. The robots will help us with our human communication, in this form, communicating with empathy. They had almost 1,000 participants chat with this AI coach in different scenarios. A family member has gotten cancer, a family member has passed away, or I've been fired from my job. And then depending on how you interact with the coach, you get feedback on what you did well and what you could do better of. It's looking for and evaluating your ability to validate emotions, demonstrate understanding, and encourage them to elaborate more, affirming their state of mind and their progress, and then making sure you don't give advice, dismiss their emotions, or make it all about you. AI robots are actually helping us to improve our human communication. Story number 2 on the future of work comes from Chief Executive Magazine. They are sharing research from Yale University's Leadership Institute. Now, they looked at this, what Peter Drucker called the make versus buy decision. Do you hire externally for open roles, or do you promote from within? How much time do you put grooming? And so in this research, they looked at all the Fortune 500 CEOs that got displaced in the last 5 years, and those that were promoted from within, the blue on the graph, had significantly better outcomes than those who were hired from the outside. This is according to total shareholder value. I think we need to all think about this and how it applies in our own world, even if we're not in the C-suite. This data probably holds true. Is your organization investing enough to get you ready for the next move, for your next role? Are you doing enough to identify who can possibly take your seat when it opens up? In most cases, we probably can do more on the front of talent development. Finally, story number 1 on the future of work, new term alert, social offloading. We're starting to see this everywhere, and it appeared this week in this Fortune article called "It's Just His AI and My AI Going Back and Forth," which is hilarious. It's this idea that more and more people are feeding ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, communication from their boss, from their colleagues, to get advice about how to respond back. And just the way using AI can sort of diminish our own cognitive skills over time, this is an idea that the more we lean on it to create our communications back, the more we're going to diminish our own emotional intelligence and other human skills. That reminds me to encourage you to go to leadx.org. If you want to develop your colleagues' emotional intelligence, the emotional intelligence of your employees, visit leadx.org. Whether it's EQ, keynotes, workshops, train the trainer certifications, it's all based on Dr. Travis Bradberry's newest assessment and book, The New Emotional Intelligence. If you want to make sure you see next week's top 5 stories on the future of work, make sure you follow me on LinkedIn and click the bell so you get an alert. See you next week.